10 Stoic habits that solve 95% of problems. Wisdom for living. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. Today, I want to share with you 10 Stoic habits that, if you start practicing them, can solve 95% of the problems you face. Yes, they're that powerful. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to stay calm and composed, even in the most challenging situations? Many of them have found a deep well of wisdom in Stoic philosophy. This philosophy isn't just for ancient Roman thinkers. Its principles are practical, actionable, and accessible to anyone, regardless of the time we live in. And the best part? You don't need to be a scholar to understand or apply these ideas. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life, and where we turn timeless wisdom into everyday strength. 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. The first and perhaps most essential Stoic habit is mastering the art of controlling what is within your power and accepting what lies beyond it. This idea stems from the Stoic concept known as the dichotomy of control, a principle that has the potential to shift your entire perspective on the challenges you face in life. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, captures this perfectly when he says, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote encapsulates the Stoic view that it is not external events that disturb us, but rather our judgments about them. To understand this fully, consider a modern-day situation. You are stuck in heavy traffic, an undoubtedly frustrating experience. But if you take a step back, you'll realize that the traffic itself isn't what's stressing you out. Instead, it's your reaction, perhaps your fear of being late, or your sense that time is being wasted. This is where the dichotomy of control comes in. You cannot change the traffic, but you can change how you respond to it. Rather than spiraling into frustration, you could listen to an educational podcast, practice mindfulness, or simply acknowledge that you'll arrive when you arrive. Why does this habit work so well? Because it frees us from the unnecessary burden of frustration and anxiety. By redirecting your energy away from what you can't influence and toward what you can, you become more efficient, composed, and ultimately happier. It's as if you are training a mental muscle. Over time, the more you focus on controlling your own actions, thoughts, and emotions, and the more you accept the things you cannot control, the stronger, more resilient, and more serene you become. As Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's most famous practitioners, wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Incorporating this Stoic habit into your daily life is simpler than you might think. Each time you encounter a stressful or challenging situation, pause for a moment and ask yourself, "Can I control this?" If the answer is yes, take constructive action. If the answer is no, practice accepting the reality as it is and shift your focus to something productive. This could mean managing your emotional response or finding another task to devote your energy to. With practice, you will find that this way of thinking drastically reduces stress and increases your capacity for peace. Reflecting on this habit, we can see its relevance not only in ancient times, but in the fast-paced, modern world we live in today. Whether it's at work, with family, or dealing with health issues, the dichotomy of control offers a practical tool for navigating life's ups and downs. The next time you feel overwhelmed by something beyond your control, be it a delay, a disagreement, or even bad news, remember the Stoic wisdom that has guided so many before us. Take control of your response and let go of the rest. In doing so, you'll discover the same peace that Marcus Aurelius and other great Stoics found in their most challenging moments. The journey to mastering this habit may take time, but with consistent practice, you'll find that it transforms not only how you handle problems, but how you live your life. In our next discussion, we'll delve deeper into the next Stoic habit that will further solidify your understanding of how Stoicism can solve up to 95% of life's problems. But for now, take this first habit to heart. By focusing only on what you can control and letting go of what you can't, you will start to notice a profound sense of calm and resilience taking root in your life. This is not just theory, it's a way of life. As Epictetus wisely stated, man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. The wisdom in these words is timeless, and by applying them, you'll begin to notice how much lighter and more empowered you feel as you move through the world. 2. Practice mindfulness and present moment awareness. The second Stoic habit I want to share with you is the practice of mindfulness and being fully aware of the present moment. While this may sound like a modern concept, perhaps reminding you of meditation, the truth is that the Stoics were emphasizing this way of thinking centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Confine yourself to the present, for that is the only place where life is truly lived." This powerful reminder urges us to concentrate on what is happening right here, right now, rather than letting our minds wander into the past or become anxious about the future. Living in the present, staying mindful, is not just a Stoic principle, but a key to navigating life's challenges with clarity and calm. Why is it so essential to focus on the present moment? First, because the present is all we truly have. The past is gone, and the future has not yet come. Think about how often you've physically been in one place, yet your mind was elsewhere. Maybe you were at dinner with family, but your thoughts were trapped in a meeting that didn't go well earlier in the day. Or perhaps you were already worrying about the tasks waiting for you tomorrow. When we do this, we rob ourselves of the chance to enjoy the current moment, and more importantly, to respond thoughtfully to whatever is happening around us. This is where Stoic mindfulness becomes vital. Being present allows us to better manage stress, appreciate life's small joys, and handle difficulties with grace. Imagine, for a moment, the last time you felt overwhelmed by a challenge. Your mind likely raced with thoughts of failure, regret, or fear of what might come next. Mindfulness, as the Stoics practiced it, helps ground us in reality. It's about fully experiencing the here and now, not ignoring the past or the future, but learning not to get stuck in them. Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about how often our anxieties are rooted not in what is happening at the moment, but in imagined outcomes or past regrets. By practicing mindfulness, we shift our focus to what we can control in the present, bringing clarity and reducing unnecessary stress. This habit also allows us to fully appreciate life's simple pleasures, which we often overlook when distracted. For example, have you ever gone for a walk but missed the beauty of your surroundings because your mind was preoccupied? Or eaten a meal but barely tasted it because you were thinking about something else? Practicing Stoic mindfulness means savoring these moments, paying attention to the small details that make life richer. So how can you incorporate mindfulness into your daily life? Start small. One practical method is conscious breathing. Take a few minutes each day to focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. This simple act of awareness can calm your mind and center your thoughts on the present. Another useful technique is non-judgmental observation. When you find yourself in a situation, particularly one that provokes strong emotions, try to observe what is happening without adding judgment. Notice the facts without interpreting them through a lens of fear or frustration. For instance, instead of immediately labeling a challenging situation as bad, simply acknowledge it as something that's happening. This helps you stay grounded and gives you space to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Engaging in a focused attention on simple tasks is another way to bring mindfulness into your routine. Whether you're washing dishes, walking, or eating, do so with your full attention. Feel the warm water as you clean a plate, notice each step you take, or savor every bite of your meal. These seemingly small actions can train your mind to be more present in all aspects of your life. This mindfulness practice ties directly into Stoic wisdom, which emphasizes the importance of being fully engaged with what is within our control. the present moment. Seneca, another famous Stoic, reminds us that true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. In modern life, the benefits of this Stoic habit are immense. We live in a world that is constantly pulling our attention in different directions. News cycles, social media, work deadlines, and personal obligations. It's EA. But the Stoics offer us a way to regain that focus, to bring our minds back to the now, and to handle life's challenges more effectively. Next time you find yourself drifting into worry or regret, ask yourself, what is happening right now that I can pay attention to? This simple shift can dramatically improve your mood, reduce your stress, and increase your overall well-being. Incorporating mindfulness doesn't require a dramatic lifestyle change. Start with small, consistent steps, like practicing conscious breathing, observing situations without judgment, and focusing on everyday tasks. Over time, you'll notice that being more present helps you handle both minor annoyances and significant challenges with a greater sense of calm and control. As you go about your day, try bringing your awareness back to the present moment as often as you can. You might be surprised at how much peace you can find in just being here, now, without the weight of the past or the uncertainty of the future dragging you down. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, the present moment is all we have. By embracing it fully, you unlock a powerful Stoic habit that can transform not just your ability to solve problems, but your experience of life itself. In summary, practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present is a transformative habit that can reduce stress, improve clarity, and bring a greater sense of fulfillment. Whether it's in moments of joy or difficulty, remembering to ground yourself in the now will lead to a life lived with greater intention and resilience. 3. Practice virtue. The third Stoic habit, and one of the most foundational in Stoicism, is the practice of virtue. Virtue in the Stoic sense isn't just a lofty ideal, it's a guiding principle for daily life, centered around 4 core values: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. As Seneca wisely stated, virtue is the only good. For the Stoics, virtue is not an abstract concept. It is the essence of living well. It means making decisions with integrity, standing by what is right, and always striving to align our actions with our deepest moral values, even when it's difficult. This is why practicing virtue daily is so crucial. It's the moral compass that keeps us steady when life presents its inevitable challenges. Why is virtue so important? Because it allows us to live in harmony not only with ourselves, but also with those around us. In a world full of difficult choices and moral gray areas, virtue provides a clear path, helping us navigate through uncertainty with a sense of purpose and calm. Take, for example, a modern-day scenario where you're wronged by someone. Perhaps they've been unfair in their dealings with you. The easy, knee-jerk reaction would be to respond with anger or resentment, perhaps even seeking revenge. But what does that achieve? It only adds more fuel to the fire, leading to more conflict and inner turmoil. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to respond with virtue, with patience, understanding, and a sense of justice. By doing so, you not only maintain your own peace of mind, but you also set the stage for transforming a negative situation into something more constructive. Practicing virtue works because it connects us with the best version of ourselves. When we make decisions from a place of wisdom and compassion, rather than fear or selfishness, we not only feel more fulfilled, but we also inspire those around us to act in the same way. Think about it. When you see someone act with integrity in a tough situation, doesn't it motivate you to be better as well? This is the ripple effect of living virtuously. By being the example, you encourage others to rise to the occasion, and in this way, practicing virtue has the power to improve not only our own lives, but also the lives of everyone we interact with. In today's fast-paced and often morally complex world, the practice of virtue is more relevant than ever. We are constantly faced with decisions, big and small, that test our moral fiber. Whether it's at work, at home, or in public, the temptation to take shortcuts, to act out of self-interest, or to compromise our values can be strong. But the Stoics remind us that real strength lies in resisting these urges. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To live virtuously means to be the master of your thoughts, actions, and reactions, and to hold yourself to a higher standard, no matter the circumstances. So how can you begin practicing this Stoic habit of virtue in your own life? It starts with a commitment to making decisions that align with your core values. The next time you're faced with a challenge, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what would a wise, just, courageous, and temperate person do in this situation? By framing your decisions in this way, you allow virtue to guide your actions, ensuring that you act in a way that brings out the best in you and those around you. As you practice virtue consistently, you'll find that it becomes easier to handle life's inevitable ups and downs. You'll start to notice that the more you act in accordance with your values, the more at peace you feel. You'll also see how virtue helps you build stronger relationships, earn respect, and cultivate a sense of inner strength and resilience. It's not always the easy path, but it is undoubtedly the most rewarding one. And this is where Stoicism offers such a powerful framework for living. It doesn't promise a life free of hardship or struggle, but it does offer a way to navigate those hardships with dignity, clarity, and purpose. In today's world, where so much emphasis is placed on success, material gain, and personal achievement, the Stoic focus on virtue serves as a refreshing reminder of what truly matters. It's not about what we have, but about who we are and how we choose to live. By practicing virtue, we not only improve our own lives, but we also contribute to the betterment of society as a whole. Imagine a world where more people acted out of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. How much more harmonious, peaceful, and resilient would it be? In conclusion, the Stoic habit of practicing virtue is not just a key to solving problems. It's a pathway to a life of meaning, fulfillment, and excellence. As you go through your day, try to live with integrity in everything you do. Whether it's a small decision like how you treat a stranger, or a major life choice, let virtue be your guide. In doing so, you'll not only solve many of your own problems, but you'll also set a powerful example for those around you. As Marcus Aurelius so beautifully put it, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This is the essence of Stoicism, action rooted in virtue, guiding us through life's challenges and helping us to live with greater purpose, strength, and peace. 4. Reflect on your death. The fourth Stoic habit is one that might initially seem grim, but is in fact deeply empowering. Reflecting on your own mortality, known as memento mori. While it may sound uncomfortable, it's a practice that helps us live with greater purpose, urgency, and clarity. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." This reminder is not meant to bring despair, but rather to sharpen our focus on what truly matters, reminding us that our time is finite and we must make the most of it. Reflecting on death is less about fearing the end and more about appreciating every moment we have, living more fully, and pursuing what aligns with our values. Why is it important to reflect on death? Because it gives us perspective on life. Often, we get caught up in the small stresses and trivial problems of everyday life, things like petty arguments, minor inconveniences, or fleeting desires. When you keep in mind that life is short, it becomes easier to let go of these distractions and focus on the things that truly matter. Think about how many hours we spend worrying about things that, in the grand scheme of life, are not that significant. Reflecting on mortality reminds us to prioritize relationships, passions, and personal growth over superficial concerns. It's a powerful tool to help us live with intention and focus. Let's take a modern-day scenario. Imagine you've had an argument with a close friend. In the heat of the moment, it might feel crucial to win the argument or prove your point. But when you take a step back and remember that both your life and your friend's life are finite, suddenly, the need to win feels less important. You might find yourself more willing to prioritize the relationship, seeking peace over conflict. This shift in perspective can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections and a life that values harmony over ego. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This habit forces us to confront that truth and use our time wisely. This practice works because it clears away the noise. When you understand that your time is limited, it gives you the clarity to focus on what truly brings happiness and fulfillment. You become less prone to distractions, less concerned with material achievements, and more connected to the people and activities that give your life meaning. It reminds you that you don't have all the time in the world, so why waste it on things that don't bring value? Living with this awareness doesn't mean you ignore your future plans. Rather, it teaches you to live with balance. You can plan for the future, but without sacrificing the richness of the present. Memento mori serves as a constant guide, showing us how to invest our time in ways that reflect our deepest values. Incorporating memento mori into your daily life is easier than you might think. Start by meditating on your own mortality for just a few minutes each day. This doesn't need to be a negative or fearful experience, but rather a reflection that can help you appreciate the gift of life more deeply. Acknowledge that each day is unique and fleeting, and use that awareness to fuel your decisions and actions. You can also practice gratitude more intentionally. Recognize the small, beautiful moments in your day-to-day life. Whether it's a conversation with a loved one, a peaceful walk, or a simple meal, these moments take on greater significance when you remember that none of them are guaranteed to last forever. Another way to practice memento mori is by making sure that your actions reflect the things you care most about. Do you often find yourself distracted by work or routine tasks that, in the end, don't contribute to your happiness or your relationships? Take this as an opportunity to realign your life with your values. If you were to leave life tomorrow, would you be content with how you spent your time today? This is the kind of reflection that helps you live a more intentional, value-driven life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us again of this in his writings. "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." This is the heart of memento mori. It's a call to action, to live fully and fearlessly while you have the chance. Reflecting on mortality can also help you appreciate the present moment in a world where it's all too easy to get lost in the distractions of technology, social media, and the constant drive for success. By keeping your finite time in mind, you can stay grounded and connected to what really matters. When was the last time you truly enjoyed the present moment, without thinking about the next task on your to-do list or worrying about what tomorrow might bring? The Stoics encourage us to live in the now, fully engaging with the people, experiences, and opportunities in front of us, because this is the only moment we truly have. At the end of the day, memento mori is about understanding that life is precious because it's fleeting. It gives you the power to make every day count. By reflecting on your mortality, you aren't wallowing in sadness, but rather using the knowledge that life is short to make better choices, to spend time more wisely, and to love more deeply. If you adopt this practice, you'll find yourself living with greater purpose, more gratitude, and a clearer sense of what truly matters. The simple truth is, we don't have forever. But that's not something to fear. It's something to inspire us. As Seneca wrote, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." By integrating memento mori into your life, you're not just preparing for the end, you're preparing to live more fully. Use this Stoic habit to stay focused on the things that enrich your life, that align with your values, and that help you connect with the people who matter most. So the next time you find yourself caught up in something trivial or feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges, take a step back and remember, life is short, but it's also full of opportunities to live well, if only we choose to make the most of them. If you believe in taking control of your life and acting with purpose, drop a ready in the comments. Let's make this journey together and keep each other motivated. 5. Develop emotional strength. The fifth Stoic habit, developing emotional resilience, is a cornerstone of Stoicism and a vital tool for navigating life's inevitable ups and downs. The Stoics understood that gaining control over our emotions is essential for living a balanced, fulfilling life. As Seneca eloquently put it, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor strengthens the body. This powerful statement reminds us that facing and overcoming challenges isn't just about enduring hardship, but about using those experiences to build inner strength. Emotional resilience, or the ability to remain calm and clear-headed in the face of difficulty, is crucial for long-term happiness and peace. Why is emotional resilience so important? Because, like waves in the ocean, emotions can be calm one moment and turbulent the next. The key isn't to avoid these waves, but to learn how to ride them without being overwhelmed. Developing emotional strength allows us to face life's difficulties with composure and confidence. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, teaches us that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This highlights a critical Stoic belief. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. Emotional resilience is about learning to respond thoughtfully, not react impulsively, and this distinction can make all the difference when it comes to managing stress and maintaining balance in life. What makes this habit work is its ability to help us remain grounded, even in the most trying times. Emotional strength provides the mental clarity needed to assess situations calmly and react in a way that aligns with our values, rather than letting our emotions dictate our actions. It's not about suppressing emotions, which can be harmful in the long run, but about understanding them, processing them, and then choosing a constructive way to move forward. As Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Often, it's our internal reactions and thoughts that amplify negative feelings, rather than the actual event itself. By mastering our emotional responses, we reduce unnecessary suffering and enhance our ability to thrive, even in adversity. You start building emotional resilience in your daily life. The first step is learning to recognize your emotions. When you feel an intense emotion rising, whether it's anger, fear, or sadness, pause for a moment and identify it. By naming the emotion, you take the first step toward understanding it. Once you recognize what you're feeling, you can move to the next stage, managing it. Deep breathing is a simple yet powerful technique for calming your mind and body when emotions threaten to overwhelm you. Taking a few slow, deep breaths in moments of stress can reduce the intensity of your emotions, helping you regain focus. Marcus Aurelius often advised taking a step back and viewing situations from a larger perspective, reminding us that we can always choose our response. Another practical approach is to reflect before reacting. When faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to ask yourself, how do I want to respond to this? And what outcome am I seeking? This brief pause can provide the perspective needed to make more deliberate and thoughtful choices. It's a way of aligning your actions with your long-term values, rather than allowing a fleeting emotional reaction to dictate your behavior. As the Stoic philosophers often emphasized, this reflection allows us to maintain control over ourselves, even when everything around us seems out of control. Additionally, see the challenges in your life not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth. Stoicism teaches that adversity is a chance to practice resilience and strengthen your emotional muscles. Each time you face a difficulty, whether it's a stressful work situation, a personal conflict, or a health issue, view it as a lesson in emotional fortitude. The more you practice this mindset, the easier it becomes to handle future adversities with grace and strength. Marcus Aurelius also reflected on this idea when he said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, every challenge you face is not just something to overcome, but a chance to grow and become stronger. Building emotional resilience is not something that happens overnight. It's a continuous process, one that requires regular practice and patience. But the more you implement these strategies, the more naturally they'll come to you when you need them most. Over time, you'll find yourself less swayed by emotional turbulence, more grounded in your responses, and better equipped to face life's challenges with a calm and steady mind. It's a skill that benefits not only you but those around you, as you become a source of stability and support for others. In a world full of uncertainty and stress, emotional resilience is a gift that enables you to navigate life with a sense of peace and purpose. Incorporating the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism into your life will help you build the emotional strength you need to live well. By recognizing your emotions, pausing to reflect before reacting, and embracing challenges as opportunities to grow, you can cultivate the inner fortitude that will serve you throughout your life. Emotional resilience doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. It means you'll be prepared to handle them with grace, wisdom, and strength. As Seneca so wisely noted, the mind that is anxious about the future is miserable. By developing emotional resilience, you free yourself from that misery and learn to live with a sense of calm, no matter what life throws your way. 6. Cultivate gratitude. Cultivating gratitude. Gratitude, though it might sound simple, is an incredibly powerful practice that shifts our mindset from focusing on what we lack to appreciating what we have. As Epictetus once said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This statement captures the essence of gratitude, a reminder that by acknowledging the blessings already present in our lives, we can experience a deeper sense of contentment and peace. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's a mental habit that strengthens our emotional well-being and resilience over time. Why is it so important to cultivate gratitude? The answer lies in its ability to reframe how we see the world. In modern life, it's easy to get caught up in the pressures of daily challenges, work stress, personal setbacks, or simply the pace of everyday responsibilities. Often we spend more time focusing on problems than on the positives that surround us. But when we practice gratitude, we actively shift our attention away from the negative and towards the positive. This doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges, but rather balancing them by acknowledging the good things that exist in tandem with the bad. Whether it's appreciating a warm meal, a kind gesture, or the simple beauty of a quiet morning, gratitude opens our eyes to the richness of life that we often take for granted. This habit works because it anchors us in the present, pulling us away from unnecessary worry about the future or regret about the past. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's most influential figures, wrote in Meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." By practicing gratitude, we acknowledge the small daily blessings that often go unnoticed. In doing so, we find ourselves less focused on the things we lack and more aware of the abundance already present in our lives. This shift not only improves our mood and outlook, but also has tangible benefits for our mental health, fostering resilience and a more optimistic view of life. But gratitude isn't just about making ourselves feel better. It also has a profound effect on our relationships and our ability to connect with others. When we express gratitude to the people in our lives, we strengthen those bonds and create a more positive environment around us. Think about how you feel when someone sincerely thanks you for something you did. It fosters a sense of connection and mutual appreciation. Practicing gratitude in your interactions can enhance your relationships, whether it's with family, friends, or colleagues, creating a ripple effect of positivity that extends beyond yourself. Seneca reminds us, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Through gratitude, even in tough times, we acknowledge that hardships help shape who we are, and by embracing them with thankfulness, we can grow stronger. You begin to cultivate gratitude in your daily life. One practical way is by keeping a gratitude journal. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to write down at least 3 things you are grateful for. They don't need to be grand or life-changing. Sometimes the smallest things, like a warm cup of coffee in the morning or a friendly conversation, can have the most significant impact. This simple practice helps train your brain to seek out the positives throughout the day, gradually shifting your perspective to one of appreciation rather than scarcity. You'll find that the more you practice this, the easier it becomes to notice things you might otherwise overlook. Another effective way to cultivate gratitude is by expressing it to the people around you. This could be as simple as saying thank you more often, or writing a heartfelt note to someone who has positively impacted your life. When you express gratitude, you not only uplift the other person but also reinforce your own feelings of appreciation. It's a win-win. In the hustle of modern life, we often forget to acknowledge the contributions of others, but a small gesture of gratitude can have a significant and lasting effect on both you and the recipient. Lastly, take time to reflect on the good things in your life regularly. Whether it's through meditation, prayer, or quiet reflection at the end of the day, this habit helps remind you of the positive aspects of your life that are easily overshadowed by daily stressors. When you take a step back and reflect on your blessings, you naturally become more aware of the good fortune that surrounds you. Even in difficult times, there are always things to be grateful for: our health, the love of family and friends, or simply the fact that we are alive and capable of growth. This is why cultivating gratitude is such an essential Stoic practice. It teaches us to find contentment not in external possessions or achievements, but in our attitude toward life itself. In modern society, where we are often bombarded with messages of what we should want or how we should be, the Stoic practice of gratitude serves as a grounding force. It teaches us to focus not on what's missing, but on what we already have, and to find joy and fulfillment in the present moment. In this way, gratitude is not just a fleeting feeling but a way of life, a lens through which we can view the world with greater clarity and appreciation. Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism emphasizes that happiness comes not from external circumstances, but from our inner thoughts and mindset. By embracing gratitude, we adopt a mindset that fosters happiness, regardless of external conditions. In conclusion, cultivating gratitude is one of the most powerful habits you can develop to improve your overall well-being and emotional resilience. By practicing gratitude daily, whether through journaling, expressing appreciation to others, or reflecting on life's blessings, you can shift your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. This simple yet profound habit will help you face life's challenges with a clearer perspective and a deeper sense of fulfillment. As the Stoics teach us, it's not what happens to us but how we perceive it that matters most. And through gratitude, we can choose to perceive life with a sense of appreciation and joy, no matter the circumstances. So, take a moment today to pause and reflect on the good things in your life. You might be surprised by how much there is to be thankful for. 7. Keep it simple. The seventh Stoic habit, maintaining simplicity, is a powerful antidote to the chaos of modern life, where complexity and accumulation are often mistaken for success. In a world that values more possessions, more commitments, more distractions, the Stoic approach encourages us to embrace less. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wisely said, "It is better to have little with tranquility than much with anxiety." This quote is a reminder that happiness is not found in material excess or constant busyness, but rather in a life stripped down to its essentials. Simplicity, as the Stoics teach, allows us to focus on what truly matters, bringing peace and clarity into our lives. Why is it so important to maintain simplicity? Because it frees us from distractions and unnecessary burdens, allowing us to focus on the things that bring genuine fulfillment. In today's fast-paced, consumer-driven culture, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that more stuff or more activities will make us happier. But the truth is, the more we accumulate, whether it's material possessions, obligations, or even digital distractions, the more we dilute our focus and spread ourselves thin. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." By simplifying, we create space to enjoy life's simple pleasures and strengthen our connection to the things that truly bring us joy. This habit works because simplicity strips away the noise. It clears the mental and physical clutter that often overwhelms us, helping us to prioritize our time and energy on what genuinely matters. When we remove the excess, whether it's too many possessions, too many responsibilities, or too much information, we reduce stress and create a clearer path to well-being. Consider how it feels to walk into a tidy room versus a cluttered one. The simplicity of an organized space instantly provides a sense of calm, focus, and peace. The same applies to our lives. By eliminating what's unnecessary, we make room for the things that enrich our lives and bring us contentment. Let's begin to maintain simplicity in your daily life. Start by decluttering both your physical and mental spaces. A good place to begin is with your possessions. Take inventory of the things you own and ask yourself, do I really need this? If an item doesn't serve a purpose or bring you joy, consider letting it go. Simplifying your belongings not only reduces physical clutter but also lightens the mental load of having to maintain or worry about things that don't add value to your life. This process can be freeing, as it allows you to focus on what truly matters. Next, simplify your schedule. Life is full of demands on our time, but not all of them are essential. Reflect on your commitments and activities. Are there things you're doing out of obligation rather than passion or necessity? Learning to say no to non-essential tasks and distractions can open up more time for what really matters, whether that's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or simply enjoying some peace and quiet. As Marcus Aurelius teaches, if you seek tranquility, do less, or more accurately, do what's essential. This doesn't mean neglecting your responsibilities, but rather prioritizing them and focusing only on the tasks that align with your values and contribute to your well-being. Another way to embrace simplicity is by focusing on what is essential. In the digital age, it's easy to get lost in the constant stream of information, entertainment, and social media. These distractions can pull us away from the present moment and from what's truly important in our lives. By being more intentional with our time, whether it's limiting screen time, setting boundaries for work, or focusing on quality over quantity in relationships, we can cultivate a sense of simplicity that brings clarity and peace. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions but in having few wants. This timeless wisdom reminds us that true richness comes not from accumulating more, but from needing less. Simplicity also enhances our ability to appreciate what we already have. In a society that constantly pushes us to want more, the Stoic practice of gratitude teaches us to find contentment in the present. When we simplify our lives, we become more attuned to the beauty of everyday moments. A quiet walk in nature, a meal shared with family, or the satisfaction of completing a meaningful task. By focusing on the essentials, we deepen our appreciation for life's simple pleasures, and in doing so, we cultivate a greater sense of peace and fulfillment. In modern life, where we are often bombarded with messages urging us to consume more, do more, and be more, the Stoic practice of simplicity serves as a grounding force. It reminds us that we don't need to chase after endless possessions or accomplishments to find happiness. Instead, by paring down our lives to what truly matters, we gain a sense of freedom and clarity. As Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism teaches us, the path to tranquility is through simplicity. By letting go of the unimportant, we create space for what brings genuine happiness and meaning. Maintaining simplicity is a Stoic habit that can dramatically reduce stress and increase your overall well-being. By decluttering your environment, simplifying your schedule, and focusing on the essentials, you'll find that life becomes clearer, more intentional, and more fulfilling. The Stoics understood that true happiness isn't found in having more, but in needing less, and that through simplicity, we can live a life that is rich in peace, purpose, and joy. So, take a moment to reflect on your own life. What can you simplify to make room for what truly matters? Start small, and over time, you'll notice the profound benefits that this simple but powerful habit can bring. 8. Practice self-discipline. The eighth Stoic habit, and one that truly holds the key to personal freedom and success, is practicing self-discipline. In Stoicism, self-discipline is a core virtue because it enables us to stay aligned with our values and act in ways that support our long-term goals, even when it's difficult. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This powerful quote highlights the fundamental idea that real freedom comes from within. It's about having control over our actions and desires. When we master ourselves, we are no longer at the mercy of external temptations, distractions, or fleeting impulses. Instead, we become capable of making deliberate, thoughtful choices that align with our deeper purpose. Why is self-discipline so important? Because without it, we are easily led astray by the whims of the moment. Self-discipline acts as a safeguard, helping us resist temptations that may seem appealing in the short term but detract from our long-term well-being. Consider a modern scenario where someone is working toward a health goal, like improving their fitness or eating habits. Without self-discipline, it's easy to give in to the allure of skipping the gym or indulging in unhealthy food. But with self-discipline, that person can push through moments of weakness and stay committed to their health journey, even when the going gets tough. It's in those moments of perseverance that real growth and progress occur. The effectiveness of this habit lies in the control it gives us over our actions and decisions. With self-discipline, we can create a life that reflects our values and ambitions, rather than being pulled in every direction by external circumstances. It allows us to maintain focus on what truly matters, ensuring that our daily choices contribute to our larger goals. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, understood the power of discipline in living a virtuous life. In his Meditations, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This statement speaks directly to the heart of self-discipline. It's about taking control of what we can, our thoughts and actions, and letting go of the distractions and obstacles we can't control. Start cultivating self-discipline in your everyday life. First, it's essential to set clear, achievable goals. When you define what you want to accomplish, whether it's in your personal life, career, or health, you create a roadmap that guides your actions. For instance, if your goal is to improve your fitness, break that goal into smaller, manageable steps, such as committing to a certain number of workouts per week or planning your meals ahead of time. Setting clear goals gives you direction and purpose, helping you stay focused even when distractions arise. Creating routines and habits is another key strategy for developing self-discipline. Routines help automate the behaviors that align with your goals, making it easier to stick to them. For example, if you want to cultivate a daily meditation practice, set aside the same time each day to meditate. Over time, this routine will become second nature, requiring less mental effort to maintain. The same applies to other areas of life. Whether it's sticking to a work schedule, exercising regularly, or managing your finances, routines help you stay on track. In essence, by creating good habits, you reduce the temptation to stray off course because your actions become more automatic and less reliant on willpower alone. Tracking your progress is also an important part of practicing self-discipline. When you monitor your achievements, you can see how far you've come and make adjustments if necessary. This also keeps you motivated. Each small victory reinforces your commitment to your goals, making it easier to persevere when challenges arise. Imagine someone training for a marathon. Every extra mile they run builds their confidence and strengthens their resolve to keep going. Similarly, tracking your progress, whether through journaling, apps, or simple self-reflection, helps you stay focused and maintain discipline. Incorporating self-discipline into your life isn't about becoming rigid or harsh with yourself. It's about finding balance and staying true to the things that matter most to you, even when it's difficult. In our modern world, filled with endless distractions, social media, instant gratification, and the temptation to take shortcuts, practicing self-discipline can feel challenging. But as the Stoics teach, it's through mastering ourselves that we achieve the freedom to live according to our values and aspirations. When you practice self-discipline, you're not denying yourself pleasure or comfort. You're ensuring that your actions today are aligned with the life you want to lead tomorrow. Another aspect of self-discipline is learning to say no. Often we take on too much, whether it's social commitments, work projects, or other distractions, and spread ourselves too thin. This is where discipline comes into play. Knowing your limits and being willing to turn down things that don't serve your greater purpose. As Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism reminds us, simplicity and focus lead to greater peace of mind. Saying no to unnecessary obligations or distractions allows you to focus more deeply on the tasks and goals that truly matter, making you more productive and fulfilled in the long run. In conclusion, practicing self-discipline is a powerful habit that can transform your life. It's about creating a life where you are in control of your actions, staying aligned with your values, and making consistent progress toward your goals. By setting clear goals, creating productive routines, monitoring your progress, and learning to say no to distractions, you can develop the kind of discipline that leads to long-term success and fulfillment. As Epictetus so wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The freedom that comes from self-mastery is one of the most profound gifts you can give yourself. It allows you to live a life of purpose, intention, and peace, no longer swayed by fleeting desires or external pressures. So, start incorporating these strategies into your daily routine and observe how practicing self-discipline begins to unlock your potential, helping you achieve what truly matters. 9. Embrace resilience. The 9th Stoic habit, embracing resilience, is a crucial mindset for overcoming life's inevitable challenges. Resilience, in the Stoic sense, is the ability to bounce back from adversity with strength, perseverance, and an unwavering determination to keep moving forward. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, put it beautifully when he said, "The rock is struck and remains, the hammer is worn out by it." This metaphor reminds us that, like the rock, we must stand firm in the face of life's hardships, while the challenges, represented by the hammer, eventually wear themselves down. It's a powerful image that speaks to the Stoic philosophy of enduring with grace, no matter how many blows life may throw your way. Why is embracing resilience so important? Because life is full of storms, setbacks, failures, and disappointments. Without resilience, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or defeated by these obstacles. But when we practice resilience, we become like a tree during a storm. Though the wind may shake its branches and even snap a few, the tree remains rooted, standing tall through the storm. Resilience enables us to weather life's difficulties without being broken by them. It's about accepting that challenges are a natural part of life and choosing to face them head-on rather than shrinking back in fear. Think about the times in your life when you faced hardship. Maybe it was a job loss, a personal failure, or a difficult relationship. In those moments, resilience is what helped you push through and come out stronger on the other side. This habit works because it shifts how we view challenges. Instead of seeing difficulties as threats, resilience allows us to perceive them as opportunities for growth. The Stoics taught that every obstacle can be used as a stepping stone to becoming a better, stronger person. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This Stoic wisdom tells us that the very things that seem to block our path can, in fact, become the path itself. By embracing challenges rather than avoiding them, we build resilience and develop the inner strength to handle whatever comes our way. Let's start embracing resilience in your own life. First, it's essential to cultivate a positive mindset. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties or pretending everything is fine, but rather training your mind to look for the lessons in adversity. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "How can this situation help me grow?" Shifting your focus in this way helps transform obstacles into opportunities. It's about changing your perspective and refusing to let setbacks define you. As Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This reminds us that resilience is not about avoiding hardships, but about choosing how we respond to them. Another way to build resilience is by strengthening your relationships. Surround yourself with supportive people who lift you up during tough times. Relationships play a crucial role in resilience because they provide emotional support and encouragement when you need it most. Think of the people in your life who have stood by you during difficult moments. Family, friends, mentors. Their presence likely made it easier to stay strong and keep moving forward. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate meaningful connections, as they can act as a source of strength when we face life's inevitable difficulties. In fact, one of the key lessons in Stoicism is the importance of community and relying on others when necessary. Caring for yourself physically and emotionally is another essential part of embracing resilience. When we're tired, stressed, or physically run down, it becomes much harder to face challenges with a clear mind and strong spirit. Prioritize your health by eating well, exercising regularly, and taking time to rest. Simple practices like going for a walk, meditating, or spending time in nature can help you recharge your mental and emotional batteries, making it easier to handle whatever life throws your way. Seneca, one of the most practical Stoics, often emphasized the importance of balance and self-care, reminding us that we must nurture both body and mind to face challenges effectively. In modern life, where we often feel bombarded by stress, whether it's from work, family obligations, or financial pressures, resilience is more important than ever. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned, but practicing resilience teaches us to bend without breaking, to adapt without losing sight of our goals. The Stoics understood that challenges are not just temporary annoyances, but essential parts of our journey toward becoming the best versions of ourselves. They remind us that we cannot control everything that happens, but we can control how we respond. And it's in that response where our power lies. Incorporating resilience into your life isn't about avoiding pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging that hardship is part of the human experience and choosing to face it with courage and determination. Think of it this way. Just as a muscle grows stronger through resistance, so too does our character grow stronger through adversity. The more you practice resilience, the more natural it becomes to bounce back from difficulties, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Embracing resilience is a Stoic habit that can help you navigate life's ups and downs with strength and grace. By maintaining a positive mindset, building strong relationships, and taking care of yourself physically and emotionally, you can develop the inner fortitude to face any challenge that comes your way. Resilience is not just about surviving difficult times, it's about thriving despite them. As Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism teaches us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By filling your mind with resilience, you become capable of facing life's storms without being defeated by them. So, start today by practicing these strategies and watch how resilience can transform your life, allowing you to not just endure, but to grow and flourish. Feeling inspired to start making meaningful changes today? Comment on it below, and let's hold each other accountable as we build a life of purpose and focus. 10. Act with purpose. The 10th and final Stoic habit is perhaps the most transformative: acting with purpose. In Stoicism, every action we take should be intentional, aligned with our core values and directed toward meaningful goals. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, teaches us, life is like a play. It's not the length, but the performance that matters. This quote serves as a powerful reminder that it's not how much time we have, but how we use it that defines the quality of our lives. In the same way that a well-acted play can leave a lasting impact, living with purpose ensures that our actions have depth, meaning, and alignment with our highest principles. Why is it so important to act with purpose? Because when our actions are in harmony with our values and long-term goals, we live with authenticity and satisfaction. It's easy to get caught up in the busy pace of life, doing things out of habit or because others expect them of us, but that often leads to frustration or a feeling of being lost. Acting with purpose is like navigating a ship. You can either drift aimlessly in the vast ocean or set a clear course toward a specific destination. When every decision you make brings you closer to your goals, you gain a sense of fulfillment and peace. Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism emphasizes this when he wrote, "People look for retreats for themselves, in the country, by the coast, or in the hills. There is nowhere that a person can find a more peaceful retreat than in his own mind." When we act with purpose, we create that inner peace, knowing that our lives are moving towards something meaningful. This habit works because it gives clarity and focus. Acting with purpose helps you prioritize your actions and make decisions that consistently move you closer to your goals. Without purpose, it's easy to fall into distractions, wasting time and energy on things that don't matter. When you live in alignment with your values, you experience a deep sense of integrity and satisfaction. Every small step forward becomes part of a larger journey, and you're no longer scattered by fleeting desires or momentary frustrations. Just as a skilled sailor knows to adjust his course to reach his destination, acting with purpose allows you to stay on track even when life throws obstacles in your way. Take time to reflect on what is truly important to you. What principles do you want to live by? And what long-term goals do you want to achieve? This clarity will serve as your compass, guiding your actions and decisions. For example, if one of your core values is health, align your daily actions with that value, whether it's through eating well, exercising, or managing stress. Similarly, if your goal is to build stronger relationships, make sure that your actions, like spending quality time with loved ones or actively listening to others, reflect that goal. The next step is to align your daily actions with these values and goals. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now bringing me closer to where I want to be? This question helps keep you grounded and focused on what truly matters. It's easy to get distracted by short-term pleasures or social obligations that don't align with your values, but by regularly checking in with yourself, you ensure that your actions are purpose-driven. Acting with purpose means being intentional with your time, eliminating distractions and focusing on what will move the needle in the areas that matter most to you. Lastly, regularly review and adjust your course. Life is dynamic, and sometimes our goals shift or circumstances change. It's important to take time to reflect on your progress, reassess your goals, and adjust your actions if necessary. This ensures that you're not only acting with purpose, but also that your purpose remains relevant and meaningful. Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on his actions and thoughts, urging himself to stay aligned with his higher purpose. Writing, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This timeless advice encourages us to act decisively and with intention, instead of getting bogged down in overthinking or indecision. In the context of modern life, acting with purpose is particularly valuable because it counters the constant noise and distractions that surround us. We live in a world that demands our attention at every turn, whether through social media, endless news cycles, or the pressures of daily responsibilities. Acting with purpose is your way of cutting through that noise, focusing on what truly matters, and living a life that is both productive and meaningful. It means being selective about how you spend your time and energy, saying no to things that don't serve your higher goals, and staying committed to the path that aligns with your values. Acting with purpose is one of the most powerful habits you can cultivate to bring more clarity, direction, and fulfillment to your life. By defining your values and goals, aligning your actions with them, and regularly reviewing your progress, you ensure that your life is not just a series of random events, but a meaningful journey toward personal growth and success. Remember the wisdom of Seneca: as long as you live, keep learning how to live. By living with purpose, you are continuously learning, growing, and becoming the best version of yourself. So, begin incorporating this habit into your daily routine, and observe how living with intention transforms not only your ability to achieve your goals, but also your sense of peace and satisfaction in everyday life. As we wrap up today's video on 10 Stoic habits that solve 95% of problems, Remember that applying these principles isn't just a one-time practice. It's a daily commitment to personal growth and happiness. Whether it's acting with purpose, embracing resilience, or practicing self-discipline, each habit brings you closer to living a life of meaning and clarity. At Stoic in Your Life, we believe that small, consistent actions lead to big transformations. So how will you start applying these habits today? Let me know in the comments by sharing which habit resonated with you the most. Stay focused, stay intentional, and together, let's keep moving forward.